season. New show, new folks, new reasons. New level, so you know we going up. Start with the old, so you know we cleaning. We gleaning, brand new story. Got a podcast, come talk with Tori. Got you fiending, new stories. New podcast, come and talk with Tori.
Hey y'all, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to Tori Talks podcast so you can stay updated with everything that's going on with the podcast. Hey y'all, welcome back to Tori Talks. I have a very special guest with me, my BFITWWW. And I'll let y'all try to figure that out. My best one, Brandon Luvonachek Simmons
Oh my
Sr.
goodness. Full government. Oh my.
Oh my. B. Simmons. What other name used to go by back in the day?
I don't even say him. But it was Shorty B.
Shorty B.
That was the first one. Goodness.
Welcome, best one.
I'm very happy to be here. Finally, just for the world to know, I called my best one earlier this week because I was saying I'm a terrible person. I haven't been on a podcast yet. And I have been asked.
Right. The thing is, like, we've been trying, y'all.
Yes,
but,
yes.
When you're married and have kids, it's kind of hard to schedule some things. So,
yes.
Yeah, it's okay, because my child, he came through in the clutch with the intro song for me.
True.
Yeah, so. But that's his son, y'all, my godson.
Yes.
I do have another godson, but he's older than me.
Girl, don't be putting that on record and say, but I do. Almost like you had to think about it.
Well, no, he's my only, but no, he's not
okay.
my godson. I have
Good.
2 godsons, but yeah.
He the only one that matter, though.
No.
I said that part. No.
Both of them matter. But so I want to tell y'all a little bit about my best one, y'all. We've been best friends since I was in the 7th grade. He was in the 8th grade at Marshall Middle School in New Orleans. And I think the funny part about us becoming friends was he wanted me to hook him up with one of my friends. And so he didn't do it like, hey, put me on. He made friends with me first. And then he was like, I like your friend. Like, been liking my friend. Why you have to come through me first? But that's how we met, and we've been inseparable since.
Yeah.
The girl.
I was trying to remember.
Where she at?
I be seeing it sometimes on Facebook. I don't think she say much still, but I think I saw her the first time like way back in like 2011 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I remember the story that way, but it may be so.
How you remember her best one? Look,
I think we became friends first because of Lindsay. That's what I mean. I remember that's how I met you. Okay. Because you were friends with Lindsay first.
Yes.
And I was talking to Lindsay. And so then when I seen you as friends with the other girl, I think that's how it happened. I don't think I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get in like this. It just happened that way.
Maybe so. Maybe that's how I interpret.
I mean I could see that.
Yeah.
But that would have been real crafty if I would have been like that, like from one to the next to the next. But
yeah.
But definitely, I what I will say about that is I don't think either one of us kind of saw that we were going to be friends this long. Because I remember one day just thinking about it. I was like, how did we become best friends? We just kept talking.
I know.
And
so he's married now, right? Been married, 15 years? How long
yes.
you been married? 15 years?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, he's my best friend, y'all. He's my best one. But I talk to his wife more than I talk to him.
That happens.
Yes.
I told her she took like almost every friend I ever had. Like, how'd you do that? Okay.
She's crafty.
That's funny.
Yeah, but welcome to the show. I'm glad to
Thank
have
you.
you on. And really, for this episode, I'll maybe bring you on if you have some time later on in life. But
Yeah.
for this episode, I want to talk about your music because you are an artist. You rap, you do Christian rap now.
Hmm.
Um, but when we first met, I think you were more into secular rap. So I want to talk about like the transition with that,
Okay.
and like why did you change over? Like what happened in your life, or if there was any big moment, um,
Hmm.
talk about that.
Okay.
Uh,
So just as, oh, my bad. I thought that was a question.
yeah, go ahead.
Nope. You go ahead. I want to hear all of it. My bad.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So, yes, I was doing secular music for a really long time, as far as writing it. And I think I had been actually doing it with the recording process and putting music out for about 4 to 5 years before the transition. I was doing a mixtape with a producer that I had met at my job, and one of his friends came up and was like, "So yeah, I heard some of the music y'all doing is dope." Blah blah blah. He started talking about it and whatnot, and then he said, "I bet I can. I bet I can make you think about what you're doing if I have you watch this DVD." And I was like, "Huh?" And he was like, "Yeah, you might look at what you're doing a different way." And I was like, "I doubt it, but okay, I'll watch it because I'm always very open." And it was a DVD called "The Truth Behind Hip Hop." Now, the background to why this affected me in any way, I believe, is because at the time I did consider myself a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd grown up in a Christian household. At one point, when I was like 8 or 9 years old, I remember walking up to the front of the church saying I wanted to be saved because I was scared to go to hell. As life happens, we kind of do what we want to do at some point. And that's what happened. I was doing that. We were doing secular music, but I remember even before getting up on a stage at shows praying, like to have a good show right before I go degrade women, talk about drugs and everything else and killing people and stuff. And but I would pray before I do that. So anyway, saying that for the background, that I thought I was saved. And so I watched this DVD, and it had, in my opinion, undeniable truths. Firstly, about the Word of God, about the way you live as a lifestyle, and it specifically went into some things about the music industry, and it just made me question, if I say I'm this, why am I living and promoting that, living like and promoting that? And so after the DVD went off, I got down on my knees, I repented, I asked Jesus to be my Lord and Savior, and I called up every group member that I had at the moment, and I told them I was done with music. They thought I was joking. They said it was a phase, and that was in 2007. We're in 2023, so I don't think it was too much of a phase.
I don't think so either.
um, yeah, and that was the transition for the most part. But I stopped doing music altogether for about a year because I didn't think that Christian hip hop was a thing. Like, I didn't think it was. Somebody made me believe that I couldn't do that. Even the DVD kind of talked against
Mm-hmm.
Christian hip hop, so to speak. Um, but because I had already written some lyrics, because that was my lifestyle, and I recorded some of it, I remember one day listening to it, and it was convicting me. And I was like, if this music can convict me, it can convict other people as well. So that's when I decided that I would continue doing music. I would just make the music for the lifestyle I was living now.
So I don't know why I never knew that story. That's funny.
I probably never told you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I told you. Like, so in your mind, what did
Yeah,
you think happened?
I knew that you were changing, evolving,
Mm,
um, growing your Christian faith, and so with that, I didn't know like there was any other party involved. I thought it was just God with you. I didn't know
yeah.
that you had watched the DVD or you had heard something from somebody else. I didn't know anybody else was involved, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then I think maybe later on in life, I said, oh, well, maybe it was
The son.
well, no,
Oh,
Maria,
Maria.
kids, and you know how when you get older, you want to live better or do right.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was age and the family, things like that. Honestly,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I'm grateful for it though. I'll tell you that much because
yeah,
it definitely that definitely played a part in it. Because if I was by myself, I don't know if my perspective would have still been the same. I probably would have felt like, well, I got a little bit more time. And I actually know
would
some
have
people who were about them, huh?
it would have been a phase.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I know some people who crazy thing. Trying to see if I want to say this. I'm live. Oh, not live, but it's recorded. But one of the parties involved, from what I see as far as the fruit in their lives, they're not even living like that no more. I'm not saying that they're out here wilding or bad and like that, but they're not living that same Christian lifestyle that they kind of helped point me towards. So it may have been it may have been a phase for me as well if the circumstances were different.
Different, yeah. But I mean, not saying that God wants that person to stray away or not be as connected, but maybe that was their job to get you
Mm-hmm.
to where you are.
Yep, I've seen that many times that, in my life and in other people's lives where you think somebody's there for a longer season or a longer period of time. And it was like, as soon as this particular event that you can discern that was God ordained, now
Hmm.
they've exited for one reason or another. And
Yeah,
God will do that.
yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Um, so we you briefly touched on your secular music. Like
Hmm.
talked about women, um, drugs. I never heard those words, but
You
I'm
probably ain't pay that much attention.
but maybe I did because it was so long ago. I was just, you know,
Hmm.
that's my best
Right.
friend, y'all.
Right. You know what? I will say this too. People don't pay attention to lyrics like that. Like if you're not maybe like an artist or like a hip hop head in general, you probably listening to the chorus and
Hmm.
not listening to the deeper meaning of what they're saying in the verses.
Yeah, yeah. So we just know the chorus and I love
Hmm.
the song. What was it talking about? I don't know. It said this talking about chirping your phone.
Now that was a song. That was a song everybody remembered.
Who wrote that song? You remember?
Mm,
Was it all of
I,
y'all?
I would say it's all of us. Like most of the time back then, I think we all used to get together, sit down, and we used to write music together.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember who had the idea though. I don't know.
Probably because, well, who? I guess it would be who had that kind of phone. You remember?
We all of us,
The
all
next
of us. I don't. Who had a Nextel? I want to say it was a King. I think I could be wrong because
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of. I think I had a Sprint back then. I always had Sprint. I don't know. I think all of us might have had one of everything we mentioned in the song because it probably was like I don't want to leave mine out. Yeah, but I
Yeah,
do think it was King.
yeah. I like that song.
Yeah, that was a jam.
But okay. So like with your secular hip hop and Christian hip hop, do you see like I guess the beats could be the same, but any similarities like I don't know, like your lyrics could they kind of collide or with your music I'm speaking, not just
Hmm.
with your
Okay.
music. Have you seen
Um.
could it collide or is it like totally different?
Nah, it's totally different, and I would say it's because of the lifestyle. Definitely. Um. I don't think I've ever tried to sit and write a secular song um, ever since I've been saved. Now, I will say, I think at one point I wrote like one that would probably be considered like a rhythm and blues R&B.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was just for fun. Like it's funny. Yesterday I was mentioning to my wife. Um, that I was like, I'm gonna make a couple of songs just for me and you to listen to, like just me and you, like nobody else has ever hear. Because she was singing a song we was say we was gonna write a long time ago, like way when we was living in New Orleans. But of course we never did it because I was like, how would people, perceive this? And now I'm almost to the point where I don't care, um, because it's like it's a love song, but it's
Yeah.
comedic, to be honest. But as far as the lyrics clashing and whatnot, I think if I really did try to do that, it would clash, and there would be too much conviction in my
Mhm.
mind because um, as I look back over a lot of the things I used to say, what's interesting is, and what I try to warn my own child about, and anybody that I'm able to view as a mentee in a sense, is when you're doing that type of music, you have to be very careful what you're saying because words are powerful.
Yes.
And from my own experience, I talked about a lot of things that I wasn't necessarily living, but because I was talking about it, I started living it.
Mm.
And it was extremely unnecessary. And, obviously God allowed it, growth, experience, learn lessons and things like that. But I'm like, don't go through something that you don't have to go through.
Right.
And don't call these things into your life because you don't have to. So, yeah, the lyrics would definitely clash.
Yeah. I mean, that's you as an artist, but it's the same for the listener as well. That's yeah, that's why I can't listen to certain things. I can't watch certain things because maybe once, right? Or twice. But like as a habit, I can't. Like it gets in my spirit and I'm restless or I'm just unhappy. I'm not
Hmm.
so I just can't.
I will say hats off to you for understanding that and being wise enough because I think many of us we kid ourselves, and I've been this person before. So for the listeners, I'm not saying nothing that I don't know even by experience. We kid ourselves and we lie to ourselves and say it's all right, I can handle it.
Right.
And for me, the very first thing that I noticed when I got saved is my spirit was sensitive to what I watch,
Mhm.
and I would be disturbed. I wouldn't be able to sleep. Like I'm not scared, or horror movies, for instance. I'm not afraid of it, but for some reason, it would cause me to have nightmares, or it would keep me from being able to sleep, even though I felt like on the surface it wasn't bothering me, but my spirit was disturbed.
Right.
For music, because I'm an artist, I would still sometimes listen to when I first got saved, I was like, I ain't listening to none of that crap. After a while, I tried to have a balance, and I would listen to certain artists that I felt like were lyrically inclined because it motivated me on a certain level. And at the time, I didn't feel like there was many Christian artists that were of that same caliber. I just didn't know them. Um, and but the thing is, that stuff gets in your spirit. And even though on the surface I was like, I'm good, I'm just listening to it for the, lyrical content. That stuff gets in you and it plants seeds. And I think what many of us don't realize, if you don't read the Word of God, you won't realize the Bible says that it's the small foxes that spoil the vine. The Bible says a little leaving a whole lump. Basically saying where there's a little bit, you allow a seed to be planted, that seed can be watered. There's going to be some growth. You know, all it takes is for you to give. They say, get a devil an inch, he'll take a mile. I always say, crack the door open, he gonna bust it down, stuff like that.
Yeah, really
But yeah.
though. And I don't know, like it just but I've always been that way. Um and I'm not saying like I'm holier than thou, because I'm not, but like certain stuff, like even profanity, right?
Hmm.
So um I was I never had the ability to curse. I've
As I
tried. I've
as I
tried.
think about it, that's definitely not you.
I've tried and it don't sound right coming from me. I don't know how to put the words together.
That's fine.
But like watching stuff on TV, like my mom, she's very sensitive to profanity as well.
Hmm.
And they say one curse word, I think I can handle it. Like,
Hmm.
and my mom's like, ugh, ugh. I said, Mom, it's just one word. But then they say a second one, I said, okay, it's time to
Got to go.
go. Yeah.
Got to go. I get it. Listen, I get it. Everybody different. You got to know what's you and be honest. And I could see that with your mom. I remember. I want to say this real quick. I want to shout her out because when I don't know how long I had been saved, but I know it had to be within the first year. And I was convicted about going to a certain restaurant because of the name. And I called her. I don't know how I called your mom. I don't know why I chose to call her. And I asked her, I was like, hey, this is going to sound weird or whatever, but I was like, there's a place that I just, I don't feel comfortable eating at. And I was like, she was asking me why, and I went to tell her, and she was like, well, if you're convicted in your spirit, don't do it. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, one shout out.
Huh? I said, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you cater to any specific audience with your music, or is it like for anybody, everybody?
I say nowadays I try. I think it changed over time, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm in the hotel. If y'all in the background, I think that changed over time. Nowadays, I would say it's probably more for adult Christians, not at this exact time, but because I have so much material, I'm still able to cater to the youth as well. So, like, if I get invited to like a youth event, I just go back into some of my older music, and I'll do that. But at this exact time, it's probably for people who've been through a little bit of life.
Okay. And so, when you say you can go back to your older music, do you ever? And I'm putting my godchild on blast because I know that he's a monster with it. He's a beast with the lyrics. Do you ever
Yes.
put him on stage with you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Ever since he started officially doing music, he's on stage with me. Like I even to this point, if I get booked, I let them know, hey, my son's gonna be here, because I try to get him to do more than I do now.
Okay.
Uh, I'm trying to, of course, obviously, as parents usually would do, trying to give them the opportunities that I didn't have, or do the things for him that nobody did for me.
Yeah, that's good. And that's him on the intro, y'all. I make my snippet already, but that's him on the intro, my godson, DJ.
Mhm.
Um, what is your motivation to keep going? Because I remember at one time you were like, "I'm not doing music anymore." I think this is maybe during COVID or right before COVID.
Yep.
Like, I'm
Yep.
not doing music anymore. So, what is your motivation? Like, keep? Why you keep rapping or staying?
Um, the I'm gonna give you two answers. Number one is it's in me, and I don't think there's anything I can do about it.
Yeah.
For some reason, um, I just love it. Like, you really love something when you'll do it for free. If nobody else ever hears my music and I'm the only one that hear it, I'll do it. That's just because I love doing it so much. Now, the second answer is I would say that it's connected to that answer, and obviously I'm going to say it's because God gave it to me to do. No matter how many times I try to quit, there's something that will happen externally that nobody knows. Like, oh, he was just about to quit music, or I just had that conversation, like you said. I told you I'm done with it and all that. Something happens to where it's like, oh, God is like giving you this. I'm gonna have to use this phrase, but the dangling carrot, like, no, come on, do it right quick, because. So I've learned to not say that I quit or that I'm not doing it anymore. I'll just say I'm not currently doing it because there's another priority in my life, or I got something else going on. But my reason that I'm not currently active in like recording a new project or anything is because we're focused on Randall Rex and Ave, my wife. She's interested in getting back in the studio, so we're kind of working on some things there. And I feel like if I continue to try to put too much effort into mine, I'll take away from them. So
Yeah. Okay. Such a great husband and father.
I don't know about that. Try my best.
Yeah.
I try my best.
um. So you brought up Ave.
Hmm.
She sings. She doesn't rap, right?
Girl, she do both. Like,
She
I'm saying that because it's
well
funny because we.
song. Wait, what was it? Oh shoot. I think she had on white.
Is a video?
Yeah, it was a video, and she was rapping, but she doesn't
Oh, brand new.
Yeah, brand new.
Um,
She really rap. She
that's
mainly.
not. Yeah, that's not her main focus. But oddly enough, I think we are gonna do a little bit of it for her just because like she really can do it. And there's this one song that this girl refused to put out that every time we go somewhere and perform it, like people go crazy for it. And like, cause she's spitting,
What
like
song is that?
you probably never even heard it because you would have had to see it live. It's called
Oh,
Favor.
okay.
Favor dripping.
I'm gonna
Like she
call her.
killing it. Let me see what she say. I gotta see some of these lyrics. Hold up. She say she start killing it. She be like, nothing's ever perfect and I probably don't deserve it, but my Father keep on giving me these blessings. Waiting like a serpent, keep my foot up on a serpent because my Father keep me seated in the heavens. And I'm living on my purpose. I ain't even scratched the surface. And I see these haters constantly be checking. I ain't never nervous. Tribulation come from learning. I'm gonna get it how I live, learning lessons. Like she killing it. But she rapping on her single too, Good Life.
Okay. Yeah, she does. Okay,
So,
so that's something that she's exploring getting into.
hmm
Okay.
she Lauryn Hill for the Christians.
Yeah, for the Christmas. And so let me just say how both of y'all are comedians.
Bruh, you might have a prophetic gift because I didn't even say this out loud. I'm gonna let you say what you gotta say, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I ramble, but this morning I was literally looking at her as she laying down, and I had the literal thought. I was like, she is actually very funny. I don't even know why. Just in my mind, I was thinking how funny she is, and I was like, she should be a comedian. But if I know her, she wouldn't take the time to write a joke. So I was like, that won't work.
Are both comedians. And I love that because y'all keep it interesting. Y'all keep it new. Y'all keep it
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say spicy because that's not the proper word, but y'all keep it lively,
Mm-hmm.
and even like with the kids, y'all have a different relationship than I've seen like parents with kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's because not saying that y'all don't take things seriously because y'all do definitely,
Mm-hmm.
but certain things don't have to be serious, and y'all know that. Y'all know that balance, and y'all are able to keep that balance within a household. And so I really like that. Y'all set the mold.
Thank you. Thank you for noticing that. I think our kids think we crazy. I'm pretty certain our kids think we crazy. We have a blast with them. Like we give them concerts and stuff, and we just act so silly.
Now, who would like to join in on the concert? The
Who's
oldest,
you,
middle, or the youngest?
actually, yeah, you hit it on the money. Like both of them, the oldest and the youngest. The middle one, Cadence, do not join in to
Sad.
our foolishness. Yes, she is. Now, Cadence does is she goes and grabs her cell phone and she starts recording us. But she don't join in. Cadence is not. She literally be like, I'm not. What
I'm
she
not doing
say? Like I'm not being a part of y'all foolishness. She'll use the word foolishness. Um, but Cadence is. She's every bit of her mom, but she doesn't like to show us the goofy side at this point in her life.
it. Okay.
She's more of the bougie, serious because she's 14.
Uh-huh.
But Cadence 4 years ago was the silliest. Like Cadence was extremely silly. And I was like, Katie, what happened to this Katie? And I'll show her some videos, where Cadence is singing and she's making up characters, acting, and all kind of stuff. So she's too grown right now.
It's the age. Yeah.
Hmm
Wear off. When she starts working, it'll wear
I
off.
know, right? Right.
Yes. Let me see. I think that was all that I had written down. Um, but you do. So we talked about who wrote the lyrics from a Ave song. Um, who writes your lyrics?
Oh, me.
Always
Me.
have.
Yeah, always have. Um, what I will say that I did at some point, I don't know if it was the last mixtape I did or if it was the one before that, but because I'm so used to writing and I write very, very fast, um, sometimes I'd end up with something that me and Maria, we tag filler inlines, like you just said something just because you could, and I made sure I got away from that. And if I couldn't think of anything, I might go to her actually and be like, "Hey, what do you think about this line?" And she'll be like, "You could do better than that," or something along, something like that. So sometimes I'll go to her and ask her about a certain line and get her opinion on it, and she might say, "Well, what if you said X, Y, Z?" So we do that type of stuff. Now I'm gonna say this to put pressure on her, and just to put it out there, this new song that she's writing, I don't know. I might have said a word or two, or I don't know. But listen, Maria has always been a poet, and this new song is extremely poetic. And I'm like, when she's asking me to help her write, and I'm like, bro, you got this. Like, of course I'm sitting there and I'm helping herself, but I'm like, I don't even really want to put nothing on this because like she is killing it. Like it's that good.
How long does it normally take you, or does it just depend on what you're like? But how long does it take?
For me, honestly, it depends. Like you said, I've written songs in like 10 minutes, and then I've taken a week or two for other songs, or it could be longer than that if I just like start writing, sit it down, and don't come back until I feel the pull or the motivation for that particular subject. But my best songs, in my opinion, have been done in like less than 20 minutes. Because it's usually like, I'm feeling it,
Yeah. And so, like, when you go to record, like, how many takes? I don't know. I don't know nothing about studio.
No, you right. You saying it right.
Takes.
To me, so my takes are usually, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe. Sometimes I've done 1 or 2. But I say that in the mature sense, I would like to do more than that now because, again, sometimes I feel like I've rushed things. And just as I grow as an artist, I'm like, nah, I should, not go with the first thing that I did. It really just depends because sometimes your first take is your best take and you won't have that same energy or emotion. Like, if you keep doing the same thing and you on take 10 or 11, you might not have that same feel that you had when you did the first and second take. So if there are any artists out there listening, try to tell them, before you go to the studio, try to memorize it. That way you kind of know the emotions and how you want to do it.
Right. That's not what I'm going to ask. Like, do you ever kind of change, not the tempo per se, but like change? I guess it is simple. Like how fast in certain parts or how slow you choose, like in certain parts.
Rarely. I usually know in the beginning, unless I write it and forget how I was supposed to say it, which I've done that before. Like, dang, how I said this part. So now I try to record it.
Okay, before you go to the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. Might be all that I how we can follow you.
I got you. 1 second. Because remember I told you I was in the beginning.
Downstairs.
Yeah. So y'all get to see how we live in a sense because we be on the road. Like we're gonna be traveling a good bit coming up for different reasons. But yeah, so can they see? Is my name gonna be visible anywhere?
I'm not sure.
Cause y'all trying to spell Luvonachek is It's not gonna be too pleasant. But
I'm gonna see how he told me love on a check,
right,
but
and the love
not
is
even
LUV.
right.
Well, none of those words ain't spelled like the English words. The love of the check. So you can find myself on any social media. Um, if you type in Luvonachek, which I'm gonna spell it for you because nobody else has that name. It's Luvonachek. Luvonachek. You search. I'm on Twitter, Instagram. I have a website, LuvonachekMusic.com, and also Facebook. You can find Ave under Ave the Voice, and that's spelled like Avenue, AVE. Ave the Voice on all platforms as well. And then last but certainly not least, my favorite rapper, Randall Rex, which is my 17-year-old son. Ooh, 17-year-old son.
15-year-old.
Sounds crazy. Um, Rando Rex. That's Rando, and it's Rex with 2 X's. The boy is a beast. Now, y'all only gonna see 2 songs out right now, but every song that he records, we have other songs at home that he's doing, and he gets better every single song. Listen, best one. Um, he has one that he's working on right now that he sent me. It's like a rock song.
Okay.
And he is like he killing it. He killing it.
Well, yes.
Now he's not. I don't. This is what I want to add to this too. When y'all hear his music, it doesn't sound like what we would call like the traditional Christian hip hop. But one thing that I'm not doing is I'm not gonna make him be a quote unquote Christian rapper. I'm gonna let God deal with it, with his heart, and let God deal with his life, because he can't get on there and talk about the same things that I'm talking about because he hasn't experienced that.
Yeah.
So the only thing that he's talking, I ain't gonna say the only thing. This is what I do. I tell him what he's not gonna do. You know, that's the type of parent I am with him with his music. We tell him what type of music he's not gonna do. So the little vein that he seems to be in right now, he's 17 years old, and he likes girls. I'm very happy about that. But you know, he hasn't had a girlfriend or anything like that. But you know, he got, I guess, a little crush and whatever. And of course, that's kind of like where his head is at. So the songs that he's making, more recently anyway, like the last 3 that he's recorded at home, is kind of like gearing towards like being interested in a young lady or something like that. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. We'll do that. We'll see what he talk about.
Now,
But
is his crush the same girl who has a crush on him? Is it the same person?
I mean, that's what I'm going with.
Okay.
You know, but of course, you know, there's a small situation with that in a sense. So I don't know if anything will ever come of that. But um, yeah, he tries to say he don't like her no more. But I'm like, boy, you like that girl. Shut up. But yeah, he's very shy. So if people wondering like what we talking about, he doesn't really like. He's not the type to go up and talk to anybody. That's not him at all. He's very, very quiet to other people. Talk too much at home though. But yeah, like when you hear these songs, I'm gonna send you the draft that he sent me, because that's what we do with his songs. We make him work on them at home, record them at home, and then we just perfect the lyrics. But
Okay.
yeah, the last couple of songs he's pretty
And he
much written on his own.
too, right?
Huh?
For the most part, he writes his own lyrics too.
Yes. So how much time do we have? Because you know I talk, bro.
I know, and you know I talk back.
Yeah, so it's the way it started was the fact that we knew he wanted to do music, right? And the evolution that we saw over the last year is just incredible.
Okay.
The way it started was we would write his lyrics in a sense for him and have, tell him how to do it, right?
Okay.
But all along, he had already been writing, and we just like, oh yeah, but that don't make sense. You got to say something different. It started from the very first song he recorded. I wrote the lyrics. The next song he recorded, me and Mom helped him, But then he kind of is like, well, what if I did this? And so we just kind of perfected it. Then the next song, he wrote, I want to say maybe 90% of his lyrics.
Okay.
Then the next song, it was all of them. All we do is we'll say, okay, no, don't say that, say this. So for the most part, I mean, he's writing everything now. So, I mean, I can't say enough how talented the boy is. Like, then we found out he could sing. Like, we've been knew it, like, since he was younger, like, he could carry a tune. But Maria has been training him more in a sense so he can know how to do certain things. But, like, the potential is there. I'm like, he didn't snatch the best of both of us, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Now, what about
I'm
the other
excited.
kids? Do they sing or rap?
See, you about to get them in trouble. They have the ability to do both. Now, I don't know if Noah can rap. I know Noah can sing. You know how Maria walks around all day
Yes, singing.
in her own world singing, like she don't even realize she's singing? That's Noah. He really walks around the house and sings all day. Cadence, she has the ability to do both of them as well. She don't do none of them. We have videos of Katie freestyling. Now, of course, she talking about kiddie stuff like popcorn and all kind of stuff like that. But she can do it. Like, she knows how to put words together. She knows how to freestyle. She knows how to rap, and she actually has a singing voice as well. It's similar to Maria's. She don't want to do nothing.
Well, tell her give it to me, cause I'll sing.
You know,
I'll be trying. Well, not really trying, but I be wanting to.
in the car and in the shower.
Oh yeah, I definitely in the shower. Definitely got to know that.
That's where I do my best vocalizing.
My best.
But
In the Lord.
right, but no, they're all talented as artists. And Noah and Cadence, they also dance.
Okay.
So we actually did a private party about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago as a family, displaying those gifts. So Cadence and Noah danced, me and BJ rap, Maria sang and rap.
Okay, good.
So that was pretty dope.
Yeah, that is nice. Like I was saying before, I love, like how y'all take time out with the kids and do stuff like that. You're not just school, church, chores, y'all have fun with the kids. So I've always liked that about y'all.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna cut this one short, and then we'll record another episode soon. And is there anything else you want to tell people?
Yeah, I guess so. Just real quick before we end, because this episode was really just about music, but just so people know, I'm not saying this to promote me in any sense, but as a family, since we're kind of talking about that, we are also a family that does ministry together. So that's kind of how we booked that event. So the music, again, we do Christian music. We are also ordained. I've been an ordained elder since 2016. Ordained minister, and then ordained as an elder. Recently, my wife and I were commissioned as apostles and marketplace apostles, and we also assist ministries with pretty much whatever they need, consulting in many different areas. We assist a lot with youth. We write curriculum and things like that. So if anybody has a need for anything like that, life coaching, we do it. We do a lot. So, yep.
Yes.
Whole lot. So y'all hit us up.
Carry 5 full-time jobs.
Boy, that's a podcast in itself.
Yes.
People gonna know we work.
But I do have one more question before I let you go.
Okay.
What are 3 words that you would use to describe yourself?
Oh, now see, I should have studied for something like that because that could be a lot. Okay. The first word that comes to mind, because I I want to be totally honest, and I don't want to sound too holy or anything like that. But the first word that comes to mind is teacher. For some reason, no matter what, I can't get away from teaching. And within that, I think it's also because I love to learn. So I like learning new things. So I'm going to say teacher. Second one, I'm going to say, oh, this is so tough. But I'm going to say family. And that's more than just blood. Like, I think I'm the type of person, and this is my opinion of me, that I love people. And I'm gonna say something. You see, this is that comedic side. Not me, but I'm thinking about Maria right now. Is there's some lyrics from D1 that I'm gonna say she quote a lot, but I agree. He said, "I love everybody, but I don't like most," because people will test your patience, but overall, I think that I usually see the positive in people, and I see the potential. So I'm a little bit more tolerable, but I love people, and I consider people that are close to me. It's like family. You know, I know we call each other best friends all the time, but you're family. Like you are there for us more than family in so many different ways. So we appreciate you so much for that. And the third word I would use is love. The older I get, and I love that my middle name is Luvonachek, but the older I get, the more I focus on that word as it pertains to God and people. And you know, you always see those little stickers and stuff that say "Love God, love people," and you know, we know that really that's what the main two things Jesus told us: love God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, and love your neighbor. I think that if we, as a whole, as people in general, if we focus on that and what that really means in our actions, not just in what we say, we'll be a whole lot better. Like, you have more peace in your life because we can't worry about how other people are treating us and um, what other people are doing. If we have to focus on ourselves first, of course, putting God first. But if we focus on how we respond or how we act towards people, regardless of what they do, then you'll at least have peace within. Don't let nobody else, take your peace away from you. Just love them no matter what. It's harder than it sounds, but it's definitely worth it. It's worth it.
Definitely worth it. Yeah. So that was good. I like those words. And I do agree. I do agree with those words that you use to describe yourself.
Amen.
It does describe you very well. Yeah. Um, I want to ask you another question, but
Okay.
I think I'll leave it.
You can't do that.
No, yeah, because okay, I'll ask it. What is one thing um that you would tell your older self about, like about your life?
Um, Actually, you mean like the younger me, right?
Yeah. Well, no, because when we get older, we might not remember a lot of things.
Oh, okay. So I okay, that is what you mean.
So
So
yes,
how old?
when you don't remember stuff, I don't know.
You say we don't remember. Hopefully that's never, but I ain't gonna lie. Recently, I actually been telling Maria a lot, like, bro, I might need to buy us like some fish pills, fish oil pills, because I feel like I'm forgetting stuff for real. Like, I think I'm a little too young to be forgetting stuff, but I be forgetting stuff.
Yeah, well, I've
Um,
always forgotten things, but
Real.
I remember them later, and I'm like, it's too late now. I don't need it. But yeah,
Okay. So this is what I think I would tell my older self, because I don't know what the future holds. But I would probably say, make sure you live for now and for what you want to see tomorrow. And remember that God is love, and he actually, you're forgiven. I would say that. Because I think even as Christians, and I come across this from experience and just talking with people, it's a hard thing for us to forgive ourselves for things that we've done, and especially when you've done wrong, like you've done it on purpose. I think that that's something that people struggle with a lot, is forgiving themselves.
Yeah.
But I would say, because I believe that this is going to be true as well. What you've done was a good job as far as putting your family first, because I don't know if I've always done it to the capacity that I was able to. I made sure that it was like a check off on a list, if I had to say it the way I'm seeing it. Like, okay, make sure you do this for your family, but I don't necessarily feel like it should be like a on a checklist. Like, that is the list.
Yeah.
Like, your family. And then, everything comes after that. Because a lot of times even ministry can become an idol. You don't put ministry in front of your family. I don't believe you do anyway, because your family is your first ministry. If your household isn't saved and your household doesn't have a close connection with God, if your family don't understand what it is to follow the leading of the Holy Spirit, how are you teaching all these other people that?
Exactly.
So, no, there is no checklist for family. It is family. And then the other stuff, there's a list after that.
Yeah.
So everything that I've been doing now, in my opinion, I'm trying my best. Like, my phone, like, if after a certain time, like, I don't even know if somebody calling me. Like, no, it's my family. So.
Okay. That answered the question. That was good.
So yeah, it'll be worth it, I believe, because these kids, Lord Jesus, these
They are
kids.
crazy. I know. Better not touch BJ.
BJ better not do nothing to get touched, because he at that age. But
Look,
I will say this:
whatever, but not BJ.
they not bad. They're tailored for us. That's what I will say. So the irritation and aggravation that we get is tailored for us,
Yeah.
because they could be a whole lot worse, Lord. 17, 14, and 12. Some 17, 14, and 12 that's out here, in the world in general. Yeah, we definitely don't got it bad.
Y'all are blessed.
Very. So,
Yes.
but we ain't gonna tell them that. We're gonna tell them to get on our nerves.
All right, that's one.
I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much. We finally did it.
I did it. And we got plenty more to go.
Yes.
All
All
right.
right. Bye.
Thank you for listening this week to Tori Talks. I hope and pray that something was said that resonates with you on this week. And if there's any specific topic or person that you want to see and hear on a podcast, let me know. Email me, tori.talks9@gmail.com, or hit me up on Instagram, tori.talks9. See y'all soon.